Race Driver Grid is loved by many fans, and even 17 years after its release, the gameplay still holds up much better than most modern games. So to improve our experience, we will be adding more content with the Xtra mod and freshen up the aging look with improved visuals from the Noob graphics mod. All links are in the description below, and if you wanna see more videos like this, leave a like, and now enjoy the video. Either way, shots, welcome back, how you doing? Peak game, oh man. If Codemasters would have good management, they would make another game like this. This is exactly what people are craving for. You know, a well-made grid would go a long way. Oh, that is sharp. Oh, that's way sharper and less yellow than usual. Oh, that looks fantastic. It looks way better. It reminds me a lot of Grid 2 now, but this is the better game. This is the much better game. So Pro mode is kind of ass. You know, sure you get a little bit more rep, but it's usually not worth it because it makes the races so much more difficult to a point where it becomes unfair. So yeah, you can do Pro mode if you want to, but be ready to have a lot of restarts because you're gonna have some bullshit opponents here and there. And you might actually have to change around the... You could do Pro mode, but then turn down the difficulty, that kind of stuff. Lock to head cam as well, you know. You can, if you want to play in head camera anyways, then it's fine. And these assists, once again, they make you faster, right? This doesn't work like your regular traction control and stability control. It actually makes your car grip better. So if you turn these on, you can drive faster. And driving fast is fun. Braking assist is ABS. So yeah, you can turn all of this off, but I guarantee you, you're gonna have a really hard time trying to beat higher difficulty levels. Like, my favorite setting has always been to have the assist so I can drive faster, but I get also faster opponents. You know, just making the game faster is like the right option for me. My favorite car in this game? Ooh, it has the Zonda. The Zonda was my favorite car for a very long time. And I kind of forgot how fun the handling is in this game. It looks great without the yellow filter, right? I really like it. And it's just replacing two folders. Right, it's super simplistic. In my opinion, they nailed so many things. For example, the camera movement, right? Like, this feels fast. Right? The sense of speed is great. The cars feel like they have weight too. But they obviously arcadey handling. Rooted in realism. Like, a little bit of a drift is encouraged. That's gonna make you faster. Is done. So I'm not sure how anyone feels about the handling in Autosport, but I think the game itself is just unplayable because it's the simplest form of pick your car, pick the track and race. And there's so many other games out there that do that better and more fun. So in my opinion, the game is just never worth playing. Like, I would rather touch grass, take a jog, go to the gym, instead of playing Grid Autosport. Hey, shouts to Jixi, by the way. Found this mod for us. I honestly prefer tracks like this so much more than regular race tracks. The thing about regular racetracks, I see them every time I watch F1 and other motorsport. So in my games, I want other racing tracks, something that is lesser known. This is where the spice comes in for me. This is where I get the flavor. It is the original graphics without the yellow filter, and yeah, some tweaks. I like that the difficulty gives me a good challenge. I thought maybe they might be too strong. I actually made more money with the bonus payment. Gotta say the FOV inside the car is great. You have really good oversight. Okay, maybe it was my fault. Horizon 5 on PlayStation before GTA 6. Yeah, but they actually reconfirmed. They reconfirmed the release date, right? They reconfirmed the release date. We're getting GTA 6 this year. In my opinion, they have no reason to lie to us in that regard. Right? It wouldn't make sense to me if they just reconfirmed the release date if, you know, they already know that the game's gonna be massively delayed. You know what else is happening? I'm becoming a dad before GTA 6 comes out. I will tell my kid about this in the future. Shift 2 has better immersion. Yeah, Shift 2... How many years are between this game and Shift 2? Or Shift 1 even? There should be a few years, I think. But I'm not sure how much time is... Okay, give me all the release days for this game, Shift 1 and Shift 2. A whole generation of neglected kids are gonna die because of GTA 6. Dude, what if COVID was caused by GTA 5? People neglecting their duties. Grid, 2008. Shift, 1 2009 and 2 was 2011. Okay. I mean, I kind of have to agree, the inside immersion was better in the Need for Speed games. Graphics too. Fun-wise, I would always pick Grid over Shift. Like, this is in my opinion how you do realistic racing, even for Need for Speed. Like, if Codemasters would make Grid in the name of Need for Speed, like this game in the name of Need for Speed would be sick. I would love that. I mean, racing games had so many different franchises going on at all times that there was always something new to play. For example, I don't really believe that people are saying, well, everyone bought Gran Turismo because the graphics were so good and, you know, people only buy games for graphics. I don't believe that to be true, right? The argument was racing games were the first games that had amazing graphics that blew people away. But I look at other games that are not racing games and they look plenty good as well. I can't imagine that you can't get the mainstream behind racing games just because of the graphics. Like, in my opinion, it really just came down to the quality that the games received. The thing is, the season pass stuff doesn't even bother me too much if the game was good. The problem is the season pass always gets tagged on to a game that nobody cares about, right? Like, hey, there's a season pass in Test Drive Unlimited. How many people in the chat right now are still playing TDU? Anyone here enjoying the fruits of season pass in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown? Hey, there's also season pass in Need for Speed Unbound. I mean, that is the better game, so it does have more players, but it's still the same, you know. Nobody cares about the season pass that much if the game isn't loved, right? They are allowed to use in-game money to buy the season pass. That's great. It's good for the grinders. I love randomizer buttons whenever you have the option to make your car. Another reason why I like this game. Toge is a really fun game mode. Yeah, you combine that with fun roads. Like, this is peak Codemasters. This is peak arcade racing, really. Right, this is a game where I don't even think about for a second that, oh, it doesn't have customization for my body kit. I just don't care, right? Everything else is so good. I think it's the first time I'm playing this game on a Zero Dead Zone controller. It feels really nice. One of my favorite things to do is to stock car.
Demolition Derby.
Demolition Derby. Sadly, they only had one event for this.
The first car to cross the line.
Like, this is such a good game mode. They should have had more events. Yeah, the way it works, when you have a car that wins a lot, it costs more money. But like, look at Jupiter. That one definitely has a speed bonus. 35 wins, no wrecks. It's insane. Yeah, this is a well done sponsorship, if you ask me, right? Like, obviously people bought stuff of eBay Motors after playing this game.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by.
I think that was worth the damage taking out an entire opponent. You hate the drifting. Once you get the hang of it, it's one of my favorite handling in all of racing drifting really. So the first one is my favorite. Grid 2 is pretty good, but it took out some of the fun elements that this game had. Whoops. Grid Autosport, I hate it. Grid 2019 is also boring, but better than Autosport. Grid Legends is better again than Grid 2019. Also brings the story mode, so I think I would put Grid Legends in third. So Grid 1, Grid 2, and then Grid Legends for my top 3. But yeah, some people might actually prefer Legends over 2. I don't think you can seriously put Legends above the first one. At least I would very much question your quality requirements on video games if you do so. Wii U is cursed. It is my least played Nintendo console. I bought it, I played it a little bit, but not much. You know what I played it most for? Smash Bros. That was the only reason I actually used my Wii U. So I could play Smash Bros. Actually now it's called Ultimate. Back then it wasn't called Ultimate. It was called Smash Bros. For Wii U, I think. Let me double check that. Holy shit, this is 10 years old by now, isn't it? Because it was also Smash Bros. For 3DS, right? That's how they called it. Yeah, look at this. This is what it looked like. It wasn't Smash Bros. Ultimate, right? Obviously they remastered it for the Switch. But it was Smash for the 3DS and for the Wii U, and it came out for the 3DS first. So I bought it for the 3DS, then I bought it for the Wii U, and then I bought it for the Switch. Fucking Nintendo, man. Would have bought Skyrim. I have Skyrim. Dude, I spent 200 hours in Skyrim in the first 2 months or so. Completely ruined my life. So you clearly don't know the story yet, but I threw away an entire semester of university when Skyrim came out. It was my first Elder Scrolls. Never played Elder Scrolls before, and Skyrim got me massively addicted. I was so hooked on that game that I didn't do anything else. I stopped going to lectures, I stopped doing exams, because I was straight up addicted. I couldn't put the game down, I didn't want to put the game down. Like, I know what game addiction feels like, I had it a few times. I had it with Blur, I had it with Drive Club, I had it with World of Warcraft, I had it with Skyrim. Until I got an arrow to the knee, yeah, then was over. I generally threw away an entire semester. I went back to university, but first I had to play like 5-6 months of Skyrim. Imagine if live streaming was already popular enough to make a living from it in the past. I mean, honestly, the first generation of streamers were simply surviving off donations, right? Twitch didn't allow subscriptions yet, and even the time before Switch, right? Before Twitch. I got a bachelor's in molecular biology. But yeah, I would have been faster by at least 1 semester if I never played Skyrim. Or at least played it responsibly. But I couldn't. Like, at first, I was still going to the lectures and wasting all of my free time in Skyrim. At some point I was like, man, there's no point in going to the lectures if I don't do the homework, if I don't study for the exams, right? So I was like, hey, I don't need to go to the lecture. If I'm not gonna do the tests, why would I go to the lecture, right? So then I just played 16 hours a day. You know why I miss being addicted to video games? Because now I could just stream it, right? Now I could actually make content out of it. Right? I could so very easily do 10-hour streams if I actually was addicted to anything. But the games are not good enough. New games are not good enough to be addicted to them. But let me redirect the question to you guys. What's the last racing game that got you hooked? Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. Steph Brown, Fazio. Alright, I would say Matsuke or Seth Brown. We're not picking Fazio. He has a lot of aggression. I'm not sure if that's good. Probably for overtakes. Ouch! That's seriously weak, dude. It's the new Xtra mod. Actually, no. I combined the Xtra mod with the Noob mod, which is a graphics mod. Oh yeah, traffic is here. It's so interesting. You have like these official races, but somehow they forgot to remove the traffic cars from the night races. Yeah, that was the point, right? Like, when's the last time any one of us was hooked on a racing game? For me, it was Drive Club. I mean, I did play a lot of Horizon 4, but I don't think it was that kind of addiction where I'm like, I don't want to do anything else. Yeah, Bane, definitely. Just waiting for emulation to get 60 FPS Drive Club. Hell yeah. Especially, it's gonna allow a lot of people to get access to the DLC. Right? As the game is gone, obviously the DLC is gone too, and I think so many people are gonna play the DLC for the first time. It's gonna be a lot of fun to replay the game. Even better than Shift. You might be the only person here that thinks drifting in Shift is good. Most people, myself included, hate the drifting in the Shift games. Alright, Salvation says that Aston Martin is good, I will trust you, man. So I had one total that had 30 wins. Probably a good one. 2025. It's funny. Like, it has 30 wins. It's gotta be good. It wins half of the events. It's gotta be a good one. I think you could actually get a lot of low attention people into an event like this. Getting cars in Grid 2 with the challenges. Absolutely, like Grid 2 has a special place in my heart as well. I just like this more. Right? It doesn't make Grid 2 bad, it just makes it different. I gotta say, one thing I miss in games like this is the breaking points that you get from Gran Turismo. It's very helpful when you're not playing too much on typical racetracks. Horizon 5 coming to the PlayStation, I think it's good. I mean, more and more I feel like it's super unnecessary to even buy an Xbox. Oh no! Thought I killed him. Like, it feels so unnecessary to own a physical Xbox anymore. Either you play all the games on PC and now, holy shit, you might be play them on the PlayStation instead. I think it's overall good for racing games. More people play Horizon, you know, means more fans for the series, means when I play Horizon 6, there's a potential that we're gonna have more viewers. It might also be a bit of a strategy from Microsoft, because if they give PlayStation Horizon 5, maybe they get something else in return from Sony in exclusive, you know, maybe Final Fantasy. And maybe, whenever the next game is around, right when Horizon 6 comes out, there's gonna be more people that might buy it for the PC, because now it's not gonna be available, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like, now the game is not available on the PlayStation, the new one, it's only on Xbox and PC, and then, you know, might get people into either buying the PC version or the PlayStation version. But it might be a 5D chess move from Xbox. My class is sticking on me like rubber, man. I honestly should revisit Trackmania more often. Basically, every time they bring out a new season, I should play it. Just need to get back into it. Especially one game type that I really enjoyed was Full Speed. Racing Marathon? Does it come back? I'm not sure. Thing is, I only want to do marathons if I can actually stream most of the days, you know, preferably every single one. I want it to be a continuous experience. So, yeah, I'll try. I'll try to plan one out for you guys. I like Full Speed because you don't require an insane skill set to start, right? The lowest barrier of entry. All you do is steer. Obviously, you need to steer very precisely, but still. It's usually very fun racetracks. Very fast, so it's good for my adrenaline junkie in me. Played 6 hours straight, fun game. Yeah, I think most people felt that they enjoyed extreme races from Tokyo a lot more than they thought they would. Dirt 2 is awesome. Fantastic Codemasters game. Exactly what they should make, in my opinion. Right, the WRC game wasn't bad, but it wasn't as fun as Dirt 2, right? The idea was just to keep the... Whoa. Horizon 3's map is way better than 5, yeah. I feel like Horizon 4 might actually be my second favorite after the first one. Then Horizon 3, then 2, then 5. I think Mexico was really weak. In my opinion, they should have also overwritten the seasons to actually put winter in there. I was really missing the winter that we had in Horizon 4. Sure, it wouldn't be realistic, but do I care about realism? I care about immersive worlds. Mexico just felt the same. I could try to cash in. They should have cashed in. The DLC map. Yeah, my favorite thing about Horizon 5 is 100% the Hot Wheels DLC. Everything else is super worthless. Drifting is really fun in this game, but you can have a lead foot. You gotta control your gas finger. Yeah, you have a lot of ways to control and save your car. It's really fun. Feels fantastic. This might be my favorite drifting handling. My favorite Need for Speed one is in Carbon, but that one's way easier than this. This has a lot more control, a lot more finesse. And I was a bit sad they couldn't recreate it in Grid Legends. Well, it was okay in Grid Legends, but it wasn't as good as this. Basically, it works as long as you don't go all out, right? I mean, if you turn on the assists, you might be able to go all out. With all the assists, it might be possible to just be on the gas 24/7. But it's more fun if you don't. I just love the amount of control I have in this game when it comes to drifting. It's really fun. You know, there's one thing I super resonate with in Need for Speed 2015 when he says there's only one thing why he hates on the drift. He sucks at it. But if you're good at drifting, it becomes really fun. But it depends a little bit on the game, if the drifting is fun as well. But there's games that have drifting modes that are just so damn fucking slow that they're just no fun. Or they have bad layouts, or the entire physics are just wonky as hell. I mean, this is one of the reasons why Codemasters is as successful as they are, because they made games like this. Grid Legends is good, but it's not great. It does not keep up with this. Although it took a lot of inspiration from it, and it did deliver a good product. Man, these are so blocky, the car models. You know, imagine it would work like it does in 2015, where everyone just keeps crashing into each other. Dude, actual drift train, look at this shit. What about the skin mode? I'm a little bit faster than them, so... Interesting, they speed up here, they don't even continue their combo. I mean, it's a bit messy, but overall this works so much better. This is exactly what 2015 tried to do and they failed spectacularly. Forgot about this game mode, man. It's called Drift Battle, right? In this game. Awesome, this is so cool, man. And this is why I play all games and I try to, you know, max out the graphics as much as I can, because you can get so much fun, so much enjoyment out of these games. Like I don't get this happy playing most modern racing games. RX-7 is actually quite hard to drift. It's very powerful, so it's harder to keep it under control. I'm not sure if it could give you more points. Probably not. You get most of your points from the flagpoles, so if you can have controlled drift for all the flagpoles, you're gonna get the most points. 44,000. Dude, how does the game decide how much each flagpole is worth? You know, the cars aren't much faster than 100 kilometers per hour, so it's up to the developers to make 100 km/h to actually look fast. But the sense of speed needs to be there, even if you're just doing 100. And let's say Unbound feels like you're standing still if you're doing 100. It'd be great if it was a Rolls Royce and you're on the way to the Queen, but not so much if you're in a racing game. 60,000 per flag when you're first. Oh, so you do want to get in front. Huh, okay. That explained why my points for the flag changed. It's funny, I don't think I ever knew about this. It's distracted mods. No. But it's actually possible to miss some of the tracks, some of the layouts, if you didn't do 100%. By the way, if you know anyone that makes good mods, send them my way. You can tell the modders to contact me, or you can just send me the mods yourself, the links to the website, whatever. Always happy to check out mods for some of the amazing games out there. It's actually patient. So it's rare. Ask Lisa. Ask any of the veterans of the stream. Patience is not my virtue. Kuru then patient. Bro, I literally had that title in World of Warcraft. There is some stupid side quest that gives you the impatient title. Like, you're memeing, but it's actually a thing. You just gave me like a 10-year-old flashback. Oh, there's actually a title that I was wearing in World of Warcraft, and it was literally called Kuru the Impatient. I mean, I think my character was called Kurosaki, so it was Kurosaki the Impatient. It had something to do with a speedrun kill. It was a speedrun kill in World of Warcraft, right? It was some kind of timed event, right? Where you have to kill a boss in a certain time, and you get the Impatient title for it. So I avoided damage on my car, but now I'm having another battle for P2. Yeah, extreme opponent difficulty. You unlock Ninja after you beat the game. I bet most of the game is not balanced for that. Damn it! Give me my second place again. With extreme opponents, it's actually kinda hard to fight through all the pack. You can't find anything about the title. Pretty sure World of Warcraft has a database somewhere with the titles you can get. The funny thing is, I haven't even thought about titles in a very long time. I forgot World of Warcraft gave you the opportunity to choose a title. That's the patient. Oh, did I mess it up? Is it the patient instead of impatient? Okay, what do you need to do to get the patient? That might be a fair mix-up. Then I can't tell you if I did it or not. Maybe it was Kurosaki the patient. Use the dungeon finder tool to finish random heroic dungeons until you have grouped with 50 random. Yeah, I definitely did that. I feel like if you're an active WoW player, you're definitely doing that. Wait, did I actually get second for this? My completionist is triggered. I got the silver medal because my teammate got it. Oh, I didn't get anything. I didn't even get a silver. I got a nothing. Tom Rockford. Oh, we remember him. He was actually a really good and affordable teammate. If you need a teammate that doesn't cost too much but actually delivers, get Tom. Yeah, Noob, it's super nice, and I think you're gonna find a lot of fans for this because people, as I said earlier, they just want to play the game again. But you know, if they can make it look better, they should. How's your Saturday? Akko. Oh yeah, I installed the additional graphics mods. This is supposed to be. No, it's not called Cyberpunk. What's that old style? What's that old style called? For those 80s games? Vaporwave. Yes, this is the Vaporwave. And I have a few more modifications that I didn't try yesterday, which I thought I would keep for today and see how it goes. Done, teammate, bringing home a fat 26k. Shibuya. Oh, Shibuya has a new lighting too. I feel like it has like this carbon blue. Hey, you wanna hear a pro tip? How to clean your PC setup? Build a new one. New parts are always clean. Yeah, I buy a new car when I'm out of gas. I buy new electronic devices when the batteries run out. I buy a new fridge when it's empty. Okay, I actually did the following though. I did buy new shirts because I didn't want to iron my old shirts. But I was having like I was like a financial consultant for a while. And I was genuinely too lazy to iron my old shirts. And I was like, yeah, let's just buy a few new ones. I think I was like very close to a clothing store, and I knew I need new shirts tomorrow for a new client. And I was like, I'm not buying an iron right now, right? I'm not gonna buy an iron right now and iron my shirts until tomorrow. I have zero interest, so let's just get some new ones. Doing alright? That is the Selena 7, yes. Just trying out a few cars. Aston Martin is pretty alright. The Lambo was too slow. Oh, I'm so sorry. Not. But honestly, I actually wanted to give him some space, but he kept rubbing my car, so I got stuck on him. You know, this game is a little bit like Pro Street in the sense of that I even like track racing in this game. The handling is very grippy. Definitely relies on a brake to drift as well. You know, the fun part is, it is grip, it's based on grip, but you can get even more grip by adding a drift. Very often you don't need to do it. Like most corners, you're not gonna have to add a drift, but if you do add a drift, you can get even more grip. I think it's the only game that I know of that really does that, where you have a solid grip handling, but you can add some extra drift to it. Grid Legends deserves it a lot more to be on multiple devices than, let's say, Grid Autosport. That game was ported to everything as well, which surprises me because that game cannot be successful, in my opinion. No matter how often and where you release it on which platform. I feel like you're always trying to bait customers into buying something without thinking about it. It's been a while since I watched Le Mans. Can be entertaining, I like it. But very often, you know, I don't really get to watch the entire event. I end up watching highlights, you know, same for F1. Are you guys ready for the 24 minutes of Le Mans? Considering how overpowered the opponents are, you gotta cheese a little bit. Also, it stops immediately when it hits 0. And it's not even, it's 12 minutes. It's not even 24 minutes. But the timer's even faster than that. Whoa! That's a modification from Noob. Hello, Fog. Oh, it's the Silent Hill, that's it, yeah. Silent Hit mod for for this track. Wasn't the fog a side effect of the rendering distance being super low in that game? Or it was used on purpose? Yeah, I feel like racing games had like a little death moment 15 years ago. Like a lot of developers just gave up on racing altogether. Right around 2010, you had a lot of franchises disappear. You know, basically around the PlayStation 3 era. Like The moment PlayStation 4 came around, nearly nothing was left. The underground scene kept the interest up for racing games. When that disappeared, it popped. I mean, not necessarily, right? Most Wanted was the most successful, had the most sales. But Most Wanted felt a little bit like what happens if you take underground illegal racing into the daylight, right? And the cops come after you. Like, in my opinion, underground doesn't necessarily mean it is at night. But, for example, I would love to see a combination of Underground 2 with Most Wanted. Right? You can definitely have night races as well. Kind of like Heat. Heat had the night races with the cops, right? Most Wanted had day races with the cops. That's why Heat like really distinguished itself, right? You didn't have it anywhere before. I just wish the cops were better. There's a few elements in Underground 1 that make it, you know, a little bit easier to play. It's a lot less grindy than Underground 2. And you also obviously have a lot less driving on the world map. Just teleport to all the events. This is where Most Wanted once again found the best middle way. You could free roam if you wanted to do so, or you just teleport into the event start. I love games that do that. In my opinion, this is the way to develop video games. You give people multiple ways how they can play it, right? It's up to them. It's up to them how they want to play the game. That way, you know, you will have a bunch of different types of players that can enjoy the game. I'm gonna talk to each other too and be like, oh, I beat it like this. Hey, but I beat it like this. Shitty story modes. Yeah, you know, I disagree. There's plenty of shitty racing games that have no story whatsoever. Like, look at Grids 2019. That game did not have any kind of story. It was just pick your car and pick a race. And then you have Grid Legends, which, you know, doesn't have the best of stories out there, but it's still a better game overall. Like, just having a quickly made story just to add it to the career progression, it usually does not have an impact on the overall quality of the game. Because otherwise, you know, games without any kind of story narration would do better. And they don't, right, at the end of the day. For me, story and career mode was always the same thing. Everything that doesn't fall into story or career is usually just an event list. Right? In my opinion, calling an event list a career is bullshit. In some games, I could argue that it has a career. For example, Gran Turismo 7 doesn't really have a story mode, but definitely a single-player career where you have to do certain things to unlock certain things. I mean, Forza Horizon story is completely unnecessary. Just a bunch of yapping. CT7 is like, get car, get good, and then you finish the game. Yep. Horizon 1, in my opinion, was one of the most engaging titles. Because you actually had bosses to work towards, right? You had to collect points, get wristband upgrades, and then you were allowed to drive the bosses. Like, that felt great. And every time you beat a boss, you basically unlocked the next set of events. You know, it's such a small thing. Like, it wouldn't take them a lot of time or work to do it, right? You could have put bosses in any other follow-up Forza, and it would help the game so much for the feeling of progression. Having those important players in the festival that you're working towards to beat. Dirt 1 is actually fairly simple. Dirt 2, that's a game I will come back to this year for sure. I mean, maybe I'll play some Dirt 1 as well, but to be honest, if you play Dirt 2, you can kind of skip Dirt 1. Is there anything in Dirt 1 that is really worth checking out? I think everything in Dirt 1 is in Dirt 2 in some way, shape or form. Maybe not every event, right? Maybe not every layout. I've go-karted quite a bit. Maybe not like super fast go-karts, but you know, good casual go-karting with friends. Oh, you got so triggered by the filter in Dirt 1 that it got you into modding. That's awesome. I mean, that always has been the beauty of PC gaming. You don't like something, there's a fair chance you can fix it. Dirt Showdown is a completely forgotten game. I feel like they didn't do much advertising for it, because every time I play it, it seems like nobody knows it. Like, viewership is always very low on Dirt Showdown, because I don't think people, you know, hate Demolition Derby, right? I don't think people don't want to see the game just because it has Demolition Derby. What am I doing? Acer and Bang & Olufsen. So Acer was the big one. Oh, Bang pays the most. It wasn't even Acer. Goodbye, AMD. Suck my balls. Although we shouldn't be hating on AMD. They're doing way better right now. I did play Need for Speed Nitro. It's okay. It's a very basic game. Definitely works. I mean, it actually has some skill, but a few skills that you have to learn when you're playing that game. So, although definitely a game made for kids, does it have a bit of a skill ceiling? Yeah, it's not bad, but obviously not on the same quality as the other mainline Need for Speed titles. But in comparison to some of the other shovelware that made it onto the Wii, not that bad. You know what my issue is with 2012? The handling should have been so much better. You know, if that game was more smooth, it wouldn't crash you out as often, you know, by the cars having better handling and making the cars less likely to crash out, which you can actually mod in, that the car becomes more stable and the input lag gets removed so the cars become more responsive and you crash less often. The game feels so much better. The game feels and plays so much better. And it was probably the first time I could enjoy the game without being mad that it's called Most Wanted. I feel like that must be the most unnecessary mechanic message in this entire game. Your teammate is right in front of you. Like, in which situation isn't that a Captain Obvious? Cruise Fortnite days. There was a sub goal for me to play Fortnite. I even got the Battle Royale in the team versus team. Right, my team won. And that's when I retired, on a 100% winning streak. Right, nobody can take that away from me. Played one game, I won it, I have 100% winning rate. I'm not sure if the opponents are really that good, or if there's just a crap ton of rubber bands. Oh shit. I don't have a rewind anymore. No. A pretty bad crash too. I'm surprised my car didn't take any damage. As I'm out, sleep tight, do come back tomorrow for more, and good night, Touch Hunts. Have a good one.